dead. He is. Crystallization catalyst. Yes! Yes!
No!
Yes! Problem is she runs around too much. But we can get her to bend over. And yes. So bitch. Sorry. Terrible. Pyromaniac is going down. That is the first 4 bosses out of the way. Alright, well, we're going to talk about Ultimate Lepic. Obviously, this applies to Lepic as well. There's no real difference other than the Ultimate Lepic gets a bit more defensive characteristics, so that's something to keep in mind. We're going to go over the modules first, and so we'll jump straight into that. We are using Firearm Master. This is a boss build that we're focusing on to start with, so we're using Firearm Master here, focusing obviously on trying to get as much crit hit and crit rate as we can. So we're using front lines and we're using emergency measures to get to that level, and then skill critical hit damage using skill concentration. Again, with most of the characters, when we're looking at getting to skill critical hit rate, we want the crit rate to be somewhere in that 90 to 95%. You know, after 95%, there's no more value. It would just be lost. So using skill insight or anything like that would just be wasted on the character at that point. So we're not focusing on that. Our focus here is on just getting it up to that 92.3%, which is where it is. So it's just shy of 95. I'm happy with that. Then we're focusing then on skill power. So fire skill power, we're using fire specialist, and then tech specialist to get the tech skills power, because what we're using is the overkill function here. So we're trying to get overkill up to as powerful as we can. And so after that, we're focusing on duration, and so that those balls stay persistent as long as possible, right? And so for that, we are looking at maximum duration. Does take some of the skill power modifier away, but that's not. We're not specking in the skill power modifier, so it's not a huge issue. And then skill extension also gets the skill duration up to as well, so another 36.5%. We're using Battle of Stamina just to get a little bit more survivability, and that also gives us additional skill duration, so we get that 8.8% as well. So I'm using mid-air maneuvering, but you could use any maneuvering skill there as well. Now, some of the people that are within our Discord group are always asking, how much of an investment are we talking about here? And you can see that from the green, the green coloring of all of the mod slots, which ones are catalyzed and which ones are not. So essentially, everything is catalyzed with the exception of Firearm Master. Right, so that's a significant investment. Now, do keep in mind that it is an ultimate character, so 4 of those slots are generally going to be already catalyzed. Are they catalyzed to the right ones or not? I'm not sure, but you can easily just hold Y now and see what's going on. Obviously that M slot and those 2 A slots are, and that R slot were the ones that came with it. So I didn't put those in, so they are the original. So that means that you're going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 catalysts into him to get him to where he is right now. Okay. In this configuration, you can certainly, kill most of the, bosses that will let you go in single player, right out of the gate before he ever goes into the immune phase. The one exception to that is that, it's kind of hit and miss. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't when it comes to Swamp Walker, but, I think that's true with any of the characters. Swamp Walker can get that immune phase going pretty quick. So So that's important to understand. Otherwise, he's strong. Certainly, this is a bit more of a glass cannon build, and that's why we're using Dangerous Ambush. For a reason. We want to try to get as soon as that boss bends over or takes a knee, then they're going to take significantly more damage. Bumps it up to 50%. If you're in a group, this works really well because if he's not targeting you, then you're going to do really well there as well with a 24.9% bump. So Dangerous Ambush is a good play both in group play and when you're on your own. A lot of people will question, why would you do that if you're going solo? And the answer is because when they kneel, you get that 50% bonus. So that's important. So I don't believe there's any other questions there. NJ, do you have anything you want to add or ask about that before I move on to the next part?
No, that's fine.
Okay. The next thing to talk about is the reactor. I am using the Burning Mechanics reactor. This gives fire skill and tech skill. If I had something different on this reactor, I would wish for perhaps a little bit of either duration. That would be okay, but with tech skill power, that's actually boosting the damage that he does, and then additional skill attack when attacking Colossus is a big bonus to this type of build. I am using the Zestros right now as the primary, and the reason that I'm doing that, we'll talk about in a second, but I've got Zestros, Python, and Secret Garden on this. If I had the perfect one, I would have Enduring Legacy instead of Python, but hey, beggars can't be choosers, so we'll take what we can get. As far as components are concerned, we are using the Slayer set. Slayer set is designed for him, so there's no doubt that you'd want to use this. But when you're looking at this set, you want to focus on MP, right? You want MP recovery, you want max MP. You would rather have a gold roll on MP recovery in combat. You'd like to have a gold roll on MP recovery out of combat, and then defense or HP or something, after that, right? Max shield recovery is good. So I think you'd rather have gold rolls on some of these. I don't have gold rolls on, but it is what it is. I'd rather have max HP on this, but it's not in the cards at the moment. So I ground forever. I think I've done the boss more than 100 times, and I still don't have what I consider perfect rolls there. But good luck to you on that. Let's talk about the weapons, though. So the weapons that you're going to use with him, you do want to make sure that you mod them with sharp precision shot and fire rate up. Every YouTuber that does a build on this guy is showing you that. The reason for that is that while you use sharp precision shot, it cycles up quickly. Fire rate starts off slow, but then it starts speeding up, and this applies to his ability. So this works for him. It also works for Freyna, by the way. If you use this with Freyna, then you'd have the same result. Her shots would start off slow, but then they would rapidly increase and exceed their normal speed, so that you'd get more shots out in the end. Now I'm not getting the most shots out. I've seen someone with a build that gets about 19. I'm getting about 16, 17 maybe. If I get it timed the roll perfectly, I'll get about 17 out, but about 16 is consistent. And then fire rate up for the same reason. You want to get a increased fire rate. So these two are the two mods you have to have. Everything else is secondary. Obviously, I'm using the Zestros because it does decrease the immunity of the bosses, so you can get a little better shot on them. So once you've used your ability, you should try hitting it with the Zestros. That'll actually can give you I think it's a 30%. Let's take a look at that. So here's why we're using it. Hold F1, go to unique ability. So devotions mark on the target enemy. Duration is 3 seconds, and it drops defense by 30%. So if you can get a few shots off on him while he's in this state for 3 seconds, you'll get that 30% decrease in defense. So it's a benefit, right? I'll try to show that in the gameplay, but I haven't done that in the past, obviously. So yeah, that is the setup for the build. So from there we'll take you into some content and see what we can do with it. All right, so we'll go straight in. So there's no break. Oh, I'm not doing that one. All right, I'll take you into this one just so we can kind of show showcase the abilities there. We'll go private. Obviously, Devourer is not the hardest boss. We could certainly go into any of them, but I'll roll some play at the end of us beating all the bosses with this particular build. It's not a big challenge. So the setup for this is really quite easy. We're gonna get up here, and once we get close, you don't have to wait till the boss drops. Your skill will remain active for quite a while. So you pop your second ability, whatever the right button is for that for you. And then what you want to do is kind of try to time it so that your roll is happening right away, and then you get the shots off. And I won't have to use Resistors for this, I don't think, to weaken the boss. He's going to go down pretty easy, but you can see I'm getting quite a few shots extra than what I needed. So certainly the build is very capable of taking down any of the bosses, and we'll roll some footage after this of all the other bosses that we've taken him into. But anyway, that's going to be it for me. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll continue to play some of the other bosses after this, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Well, here's some group play with this Lepic build. Request of NJ.